Turns out you can't break certain character traits because we definitely got the animals before we got the infrastructure in place. It'll be worth it once the chooks get in there. We're well and truly into spring. Between the rains and the wind and the calm, things have been moving on the homestead. This week, Diane and Bub are out of town, and it's just me. I am definitely not alone though. I have plenty of company between the dogs, the brand new chooks, and the ducks. One thing that did happen this week is we finished constructing the duck and the chicken coop. Well, at least it's finished enough for them to move in. So this particular journey was a bit of a hectic one. We had a plan in mind that we were going to do things a bit slower than we have in the past and build the infrastructure before we get the animals, and turns out you can't break certain character traits because we definitely got the animals before we got the infrastructure in place, which is fine. It works for me because I do utilize that as motivation to kind of get the job done. But at least this time I was improving. I was staying ahead of the ball. We had a brooder when the chicks rocked up and the ducklings rocked up, but you know, the plan keeps going awry. We realized we had to separate them pretty quickly, which meant I had to build a second brooder. And then the next thing that happened is, believe it or not, which if you've had ducklings before you probably will believe it, those chicks and those ducks are the same age. Yep. So they grew exponentially and at a rate I was not prepared for. And so this coop had to go up, and had to go up quickly. So as you can see, it's a bit mixed matched. Most of it, the vast majority of it, is actually recycled timber, which is really nice. Most of the timber that I used for the structure was from a friend who had milled it off his mother's property, and it was starting to rot and he wasn't going to use it. So he was going to burn it unless I was willing to come and grab it, which I did. And so it's wonderful to see it getting used in a different context than getting warm. It's going to keep these chooks warm for a long time.
No folks, that's not a garden.
No, it's not. It's too many rocks. It'll be worth it once the chooks get in there. So today I'm building a chicken coop. I built quite a few of them. In fact, the first thing I ever built was a chicken coop. But that one wasn't perfect, and we've learned a lot of lessons from previous builds. And so now I'm trying to build one that's encompassing all of the mistakes so we can have the best permanent chicken coop we can possibly have.
And the wife has asked that it's beautiful, right?
As always. Beautiful. No pallet build. Now the biggest problem I had with that coop was that I just, we scaled up for starters, but also I'm not a big fan anymore of the mesh with the poop falling through. Because as soon as you add like bedding and stuff like that, it catches in the wire and then it creates this place for the poo to land. And I just found there was like, when we had to muck it out, it sucked. It was a crappy job, you know, pun not intended. The point of this system is to be designed in a way where you can just go in with a shovel or a scraper and it's just quick. A couple of scoops and it's kind of like you want to do that so you can get it into the wood chips and get it composting, as opposed to just being out in the field. I think if I do another one out in the field, it'll be like a to the ground chicken tractor, maybe an A-frame or something like that.
A non-negotiable for me with this chicken coop is that I have to be able to clean it not only easily, but with plenty of headroom. None of this bending down to get into it, none of this small space stuff. It needs to be easily accessible from the outside. What about you, Sam?
I need to be able to leave it for a week and not even think about it. Non-negotiable. Just put that on in the lowest part. Yeah.
The new lawnmowers are here.
I need to go up. Oh God.
Okay.
Just needs to rest.
Do you think it's been useful spending a year living on and observing other people's homesteads?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Always.
Why?
We just stayed at a mate's homestead, and he's a carpenter by trade. So just watching him, like, I rock up and I've got a drop saw. I'm like, hey man, do you want to borrow my drop saw? And he's like, I've got a drop saw. I don't need your drop saw. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. And he was just working in the paddock with a circular saw, and he was just like an artist with it, you know. And then just paying attention to what he was doing, I was like, oh, there's much more efficient ways to do the things I've been doing, you know.
So these skills are helping with this build?
Oh yeah. Like there's a place for the table saw, for the drop saw. Like if I'm doing like a large build and I need to cut like a lot of timber, which does happen. Like I could have used it for this job because this is a lot of timber that needed cutting, but it was a nice challenge to just mess around for now. Hey guys, so today I'm excited to tell you that we've decided again, after having such a good experience, to work with BLUETTI. What I've got here is the Elite 100 V2. It has an inverter in it, 1800 watts of continuous power, and you can jack that up to like 2700 watts, I believe, which is just great. I've already used the drop saw with it. I've already used a pressure cleaner to clean our IBC. It's just really convenient to not have to drag extension cables around, and it just makes my life way more convenient. So what we've got here in the battery is a 1024 watt hour LifePro 4 battery, which isn't the tungsten battery, it's the lithium ferrophosphate, something like that. But it is the safer battery. It also means because it's lithium, you can take it down to 20%. You're not going to have any of those risks that you hear about on the news. As far as life cycles go, you got about 4,000 cycles, which is more than enough. You've got the two AC outputs of 240 volt, that's your 1800 watt, and then DC, you've got fast laptop charging, 140 watts USB-C, then you've got your USB 100 watt, USB standard charger, and of course you've also got your DC cigarette charger, and also a positive and negative outlet for any other 12 volt needs that you might have. One really cool thing about this unit is that it'll charge up to 1000 watts of solar, which is pretty crazy. That means you can get 4 portable camping panels, put them together in series and parallel, whatever the math works out to be, and get yourself a little solar farm if you're ever to go camping, and this thing will just keep chugging along, keep those fridges charged. and keep your worries down. One thing that's really handy for us is that we actually have solar on the bus. We are off grid, so we just plug this kettle cord bad boy straight into the AC plug on our bus, and we just charge off the solar panels on the roof, and it charges in like 45 minutes to an hour, pretty much to 100%, which is just really convenient. A big selling point for us, because we did have an earlier version of something similar to this, is this is about a 30% upgrade from the last one that we had, and it weighs the same. And it's actually, I think, maybe even just a tiny bit smaller even than the last unit that we got off BLUETTI, which is just unreal, because we have a baby and we live on a bus and space is in short supply. Now, there is actually a bit of good timing with this battery. There are some sales happening at the moment because of Black Friday. Get on over to the website of BLUETTI. Those guys are fantastic. We love communicating with them. We get offers all the time from brands looking to partner up with us, and we don't do it very often. And this unit has actually carved a place in our life. We use it regularly. We're really happy with the product, and over the next couple of months, as we're more active on the homestead and we do a few more things camping, like it is getting to the summer months, we want to go swimming, I think you're going to see this unit in our videos more and more often. So if you've stuck around for this segment of the video, we really appreciate it. It does support us. And back to the video. When we got to this part of the build, some things in our life started to happen that caused a little bit of chaos, and the size of the ducks growing started to put quite a bit of pressure on us. So in the space of a day, I called the cavalry in, a couple of friends who weren't necessarily comfortable being on camera, and we smashed out the last of the coop. Once this last bit of frame went up, all I did was put a little bit of roofing on and then staple the wire around the outside, and also cut and install a door. Now, luckily, it was just the wiring that didn't get filmed. There is actually quite a bit more to do on the coop. I haven't made the brooder boxes, I haven't made the perches yet, and I also haven't done the rest of the corrugated roofing and gutters, because I am planning on using the roof of this chicken coop to collect water for the animals. So something I wanted to update you guys on is our humanure system, which is something that's imperative to us existing here, because we don't have septic and that would require a DA. So it's part of being able to stay here and keep everyone's peace of mind in a good space. Contained bins that have all of our waste in it. And in about 18 months that'll become useful. So we've got 2 here. I'd say we've been here like a good 6 months now, maybe 7 months. So that's how long it's taken to fill up one of these bins. I was actually quite surprised with how much carbon we had to add, because we did start having a fly problem at one point, but it was easily solved with a bit of carbon diaperage. But I think one thing that's pretty cool is that these are the exact same bin from the same place, and you can see the color difference between the two. So see if you can guess which one's the one that's been used for the last 6 months. Because that implies heat. The bucket that I'm throwing into the bin right now already has a very hefty ratio of carbon with it. We use a Coop peat. And just after, I'm using some water to rinse the bucket, and then I'm going to try and activate the compost that we've got sitting there, since the temperature was looking pretty low.